Whoa, what's going on, Frank? Is this OnlyFans or is this Patreon? Guys, if I'm gonna be up at 1 in the morning filming videos for you guys, I'm gonna do whatever I want. I gotta have a little bit of fun. So you guys probably watched my enzyme video earlier, and this is where you guys get the good stuff. So I've had a plethora of health issues, mostly related to taking a drug called Accutane, which is very high amounts of synthetic vitamin A, which impaired my liver function, my pancreatic function, my digestive function greatly. So enzymes are something I'm very familiar with. I've been experimenting with them on and off for 2 years now. And the main purpose of that is because my body no longer produces the enzymes needed to digest food. And I'm hoping, hopefully by the end of this year, sometime next year, my digestive function is restored in some capacity where I no longer have to use these enzymes. I mean, at this point, that seems like a bit of a pipe dream, but I'm definitely working towards that goal. So the point of me bringing that up is to explain that these digestive enzymes are to be used in a state of disease. And there's also modern factors, especially Wi-Fi, high levels of certain frequencies, cell phone, cell towers, microwave, smart meter, whatever it is, they actually impair your liver function, impair your organ function, your pancreatic function. So then you're not going to be producing the digestive enzymes you need. So enzymes are probably something you should try regardless of whether or not you're having gut issues or health issues, as they usually are a net positive. I don't have all of the enzymes I've ever used here today. I do have a couple of them, and I do have a couple that are coming in the mail that I do want to try, that I will speak about. So what I've been using for the most part, and the most important thing is, one thing I mentioned in the video earlier was your stomach acidity needs to be high enough in order for pepsin to activate. So this is Doctor's Best betaine HCl, pepsin, and gentian bitters. And the betaine HCl is hydrochloric acid, basically. It stimulates the stomach acid production. So you want to have some salt in the meal for sure. And then this has pepsin, and this also has gentian, which is bitters, which stimulates the gastric juices. So the goal of this supplement is to increase the stomach acidity, and the pepsin is to absorb the protein and break it down into amino acids. So this is very important for the first part of protein digestion. And you would basically take these capsules until you feel a burning in your stomach. And this might take a lot depending on what your current state of gut health is. If you take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these and nothing's happening, then you might have to look into an antimicrobial protocol, which I will discuss separately. Enzymes and antimicrobial protocols do tend to go hand in hand when you're having gut issues, but they are two separate things. The purpose of enzymes is to digest foods and materials so that the pathogenic bacteria does not consume it. The goal of the antimicrobials is to kill that pathogenic bacteria. So it's kind of a twofold thing. If you guys do want to reach out to me for consultation, I can explain an antimicrobial protocol, but I have to figure if I want to give away that information yet. So this is one aspect of protein digestion. Normally, the pepsin is produced primarily by the stomach. One thing I haven't tried is trypsin and chymotrypsin, and I'm getting a lot of that in the mail right now. I'm assuming once I use this with trypsin and chymotrypsin, my protein digestion is going to improve even further. I've tried adding separate pepsin supplements, and it's not more effective. So my suggestion for protein, especially considering most of us are following a carnivore diet, is you want a betaine HCl and pepsin supplement in combination with a trypsin, chymotrypsin supplement to digest the protein. Now, the other enzymes might not be necessary, because if you're consuming honey or glucose or fructose or fruit, there's literally no other enzymes you need in your diet, because, if the protein's really lean, you might need some lipase and some ox bile and some fat digesting enzymes. In some cases, you don't. So let me correct myself there. If you're not consuming a lot of fat, you might not need lipase or ox bile as a separate digestive enzyme. And since I'm not consuming a lot of fat right now, I don't consume lipase. I do have some ox bile though. So that's the protein component. The fat component, one part of it is ox bile, and this is very acrid and acidic. It's bile. So this is a very important aspect of digestion. And if you combine this with lipase, that will help with fat digestion. The thing about ox bile and lipase, sometimes it can make you sluggish and feel like you need to take a nap. You can definitely go light on these. These will cause like really acidic diarrhea if you take too much. I haven't done too much experimenting with the ox bile and the lipase on and off. I do like throwing them in here and there, as I feel like they do help and increase motility and put a little bit less stress on my digestion. So for the fat digestion, ox bile, and you can get a lipase supplement separately, but I think the lipase supplements are very expensive, and as I said, they tend to make me feel really sluggish. I mean, a lot of this stuff can make you feel sluggish, but lipase especially. So the last thing I have to show you guys is a generic full spectrum enzyme supplement. And I don't recommend this one, I just have this one. I have one on my Amazon shop called Now Super Enzymes. And the Super Enzymes has bromelain, papain, high amounts of those ones contained in the fruits, which I like because that adds an element of breaking down food that your body doesn't have. So it just aids digestion greatly. So don't get this one, get Now Super Enzymes, but I'm going to explain this one as an example. So this one does have protease, pancreatin, acid-stable protease, lipase to break down fats, amylase and amyloglucosidase to break down carbohydrates, cellulase and hemicellulase to break down fiber, and lactase to break down milk sugar. So depending on what you're consuming, that would gauge what type of enzyme you want. So I mean, this would be good if you're eating like beans and cookies, you know, something that the average person would eat. This is not going to be practical for a carnivore diet, for a certain type of diet that's consuming certain nutrients. You know, what's the point of consuming a digestive enzyme supplement that digests beans, starches, and fiber, and you're consuming mostly meat? It doesn't make any sense. So you want to line up the enzyme with the food. But as I said, that super enzyme supplement that has the bromelain from pineapple and the papain from papaya, and I think it has some other stuff in there too. Yeah, I think it even has betaine, HCl, and pepsin. That helps break down food as a generic degrading enzyme. You know, if you put bromelain or papain on anything, it'll start eating away and breaking it down, which is exactly what you want. So all of these enzymes and these supplements are the same in regards to their use. You kind of want to taper them up and see how you respond. You know, take one of each, take two of this, take three of that, and try to line it up depending on your meal. You know, if you're following a carnivore meal, see how many betaine, HCl with pepsin it takes to get your stomach acidity high, and see how many trypsin and chymotrypsin you need to reduce your bowel movement size. I suggest just ramping up the dosage on any of these supplements that you decide to get, and then correspondingly seeing how your body responds to them. So on that Amazon shop, I think I recommend basically the few things that I would use, and it's all basic stuff. You know, you have the betaine, HCl with pepsin to break down protein. You have the trypsin and the chymotrypsin to break down protein after it leaves the stomach. You have an amylase. I think I recommended an amylase if you do want to consume starch from time to time. But since I consume honey, you know, there's no enzyme needed to digest honey because it's glucose and fructose. So by consuming honey, by consuming fruit, you're avoiding the need of a starch digesting enzyme. For fat, I do have a lipase as well as a ox bile supplement on my Amazon shop. And for the generic breakdown of nutrients, I do have the Now Super Enzymes. So I think that's only 5 or 6 enzymes that you really need to have. I have a bunch of other stuff on my counter. Those are various antimicrobials and other supplements I take, such as magnesium, copper, iodine, K2, D3, you know, my beef testy supplement, a bunch of other stuff. So I will go over this stuff in the future with you guys. One thing I definitely want to bring to light is that a lot of these supplement companies are ripping people off. I can't remember the name of it. Actually, I probably do remember the name of it. I just don't want to say them, but they're selling these enzyme supplements for like $50, $60, $70, $80 a bottle. You know, there's a lot of these probiotic companies that are doing the same thing. It's all a ripoff. You know, all of the supplements I recommended on Amazon, I think they're like 10, 20, 30 bucks each at most. You know, you don't have to get ripped off for a supplement. I mean, there are, you know, a handful of supplements that do cost a lot of money because the raw material cost is actually very high. But a lot of these companies selling enzymes and probiotics for $70, $80, $90 a bottle, minerals for $70, $80, $90 a bottle are just ripping people off. And I've had a lot of clients come to me that have spent like hundreds to thousands of dollars on these BS supplements. And I don't really like telling people you got ripped off, but like one part of me is like, man, why couldn't I rip these people off and make $1,000? And the other part of me is like, man, you know, it's unfortunate that so many people take advantage of people that are in ill health. So you guys can help me a little bit by purchasing this stuff through my Amazon link and by, you know, sharing my video with people. But, by no means am I making a lot of money off of this. I will try to make like these type of enzyme supplements for my own company in hopefully the near future. But as of right now, we might have a pancreas supplement and an ox bile supplement on Organ Supplements. So if you are having digestive issues, consuming like bovine pancreas might help you. Unfortunately, the only company that sells pancreas right now, they mix in liver with the pancreas powder. And I mean, to me, it seems like it's very easy to get, retinal toxicity or vitamin A overload if you're taking, beef liver supplements with every single thing. If you need to take beef liver to get beef pancreas, if you need to take beef, that's why I'm trying to get supplements on Organ Supplements that have just the pure, organ extract as opposed to mixing in cheap liver powder to make it more affordable. So I think I've covered everything here for you guys. If you have any questions, just message me on Patreon or leave them down below. And also let me know what else you guys would like to see. I know you guys would probably like to see me do a Candida video or antimicrobial protocol video, but that is something that, I didn't even want to reveal this information, but this isn't like something that's difficult to figure out, whereas an antimicrobial protocol is something that takes a lot of experience and a lot of understanding, so we'll see. But thank you guys for joining me today. Thanks for supporting me. I'll see you guys soon.